Good evening, bonsoir. Bienvenue à la séance ordinaire du 3 mars. Welcome to the regular public meeting on March 3rd. Please rise for the national anthem. On va aussi faire la reconnaissance territoriale. Nous reconnaissons avec respect l'emplacement de la ville de Bathurst en tant que terre ancestrale du peuple Mi'kmaq. Aujourd'hui, ces terres sont hôtes d'une population diverse, comprenant personnes natives du territoire et autres patries. Nous reconnaissons aussi avec respect l'histoire et les diverses cultures du peuple Mi'kmaq de la région. We respectfully acknowledge the city of Bathurst as the ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq. Today, these lands are home to a diverse population of indigenous and other peoples. We also acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and culture of the Mi'kmaq in this region. On va aller à l'approbation de l'ordre du jour. Madame Parker.
Que l'ordre du jour soit approuvé comme présenté.
J'aurais besoin de quelqu'un pour proposer. Councillor Scarry, puis appuyer Councillor Knowles. Prêt pour la question? Tu es en faveur, signifier en disant oui. Oui. Contre non. Motion adoptée. Ms. Parker, do we have any declaration of conflict of interest?
No conflicts of interest were declared.
Okay, so we're going to go to the regular public meeting held on February 18, 2025. Ms. Parker.
That the minutes of the regular public meeting dated February 18th, 2025 be approved as circulated.
All right, I'll need a mover. Deputy Mayor Willett, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Ms. Parker, I forgot to ask you if you had, did I ask you for a declaration of conflict? I did, okay. We passed, okay. So, on a une présentation du public et de l'administration. Ça fait le lancement du portal électronique par Madame Gauvin, notre trésorière. Je vais vous donner le micro.
Merci beaucoup. Ce soir, ça me fait absolument plaisir de présenter au nom de l'équipe finance et de l'équipe de communication le lancement du portail e-services, donc e-services launch. So tonight, what is e-services? Its key features and something specific that is a little gift for non-residential accounts, how to sign up and launch timelines, and then we'll go through a little bit of questions if there is any. So what is e-services? It is a new online platform for water and sewer invoice. So right now we are starting with water and sewer invoice because we already have accounts into our software. But as we go along with the years and everything and the months, we will be adding to this services. But we need it to start with those types of accounts so that we don't have duplicate ones when people just do for smaller services. But you will have access, for those that want it, online accounts for whether it be residential, non-residential, whichever. So go paperless with this one. So as soon as you onboard, you will have a check mark that you will have to acknowledge, because as soon as you onboard, it means that you don't want the paper version anymore and you will have everything accessed online. Of course, you can print it from your home. There is a printable format, but we won't be sending it to you. So that advantage is that since we've been on a fixed rate, and that we've had that 5% discount for everybody that pays. And before the end of February, people have been receiving monthly invoices with credits on them and saying, well, why am I receiving this? I paid, I just had a credit, I just throw it in the garbage. That won't happen anymore. You'll have a notification that something went about into your account, which is the charges that get applied to your credit. Your credit will go down, but you won't receive the paper version anymore. So that will be a very big benefit. You will have these secure online payment options. You will get these email notifications as soon as there's something going on into your account, but you will also be able to view your past invoices. If you've made payments against them, reconcile. Sometimes we have people that are not sure what makes up the balance of their accounts because there's a few transactions that went on that they're unsure. They won't have to call City Hall anymore. They'll be able, if they can, but they won't have to if they have an online account. They'll be able to just simply go in and view their full transactions since the beginning, whether it be an invoice that was produced, a charge that was put on, or a payment that was made towards it. So you will be able to see everything related to your account. So some key features and benefits. Well, first of all, it saves time. So some want to get that payment in really quickly early on for the month. You won't have to wait to get it through the mail or go to City Hall or whichever. You will be able to have it as soon as we produce it and post it. You will receive it. So for example, we posted the online accounts because we already have a few. Last Friday, I wasn't home. I got my notification. My invoice was ready. And I could see it right away. No delay. It's convenient, available 24/7 if you're on the road, on the go, or just a busy schedule, and you want to do it at midnight, you can. On the weekend, you can, from your online website, from your phone, tablet, or computer. One of the big advantages that people will see if they onboard also is that payments are applied instantly to your account. So for example, if you make online payments right now through Service New Brunswick or through your bank, we don't get the money right away. There's a delay of a few days by the time the bank sends it to us. So that delay means that if you made a payment on the last day your invoice was due and we only get it on the 2nd and the 3rd, well, you're late on your payment and you have interest fees because we didn't get the payment, the bank did. If you do it through our online portal, you'll see it gets applied directly to your account. Your balance goes down instantly, and we also see it on our side, and we already have the money. It's direct payment, as the same as if you came to our counter. So there's less risk of added interest for no reason. 100% paperless, obviously, and that will create operational cost savings. Anybody that on board obviously will save the stamp, the envelope, the paper, and most importantly, the staff that it takes about a day and a half or to 2 days to put 4,000 something invoices through envelope, even though we have a machine. It's very labor intensive. So that will save all of those things in the future for those that are on board. Specific benefits for non-residential accounts. One of the biggest benefit for them is that there's a tab into their account where they can see the full historical data of their metered account. So if you're metered and you use, 20,000 imperial gallons per month, or 40, or 10, or 5, that full history is there for you to view in a simple table that you can print if you want to, you can export, you can do a lot of work through that. But what helps is that because you receive that notification, for example, I received mine on February 28th that there was something in my account. If there's a bump and you have a peak in your account because you're a commercial and you have a leak, you'll see it quicker instead of waiting for your invoice to come in through the mail, and then you're already 1 month possibly out before you can fix it. So you'll be able to have your meter data to create your own trends if you want to, but if you scroll down at the bottom of the table, there's also a graph that is quite large, and it goes back 5 years, where you can easily see all of the bumps, kind of your NB Power account compared to previous years and everything. You can compare. So that is the biggest advantage for metered accounts. So as residential, available 24/7, payments are applied instantly to your account, and it saves time. And for those that have multiple accounts, it's not listed there. But whether you have apartment buildings where you have multiple ones, right now you get maybe 10 envelopes. If you have a commercial account where you have multiple businesses, you get whatever number of accounts that you get through the mail. Through the online account, you have one account, and you can link all of them together, so you have one portal where you can see everything together. Still separate and different invoices like you would normally, but one account where you can view, and you don't have all of those envelopes to open one by one. So how to sign up? Well, one thing that we've been printing this month is the sign-up key. So this month, do not throw, even if you paid for the full year, if you want to onboard, do not throw your invoice. If you do, it's not the end of the world. We'll be printing that for the next 6 months on the back of the invoices. And if you, after 6 months, you want to onboard, we can print out single sign-up key as well. But right now, if you want to onboard quickly, right in the one that's going to be mailed this month, you will have a sign-up key in the back of your invoice. Once you get that, you go to bathurst.ca e-services go, and you submit your unique sign-up key and customer code. You need that to ensure that we link the proper customer to the proper account. It's a validation. Then you just follow the on-screen instruction, and then you verify your email to confirm your account. Check your spam, your junk box. Sometimes it can go through that for your notification, but you should get a confirmation through that, and then you're all set. And you can view your account by going to bathurst.ca/e-services. So the timelines, well, the pre-launch work, we've been working on this for about 2 years. And the staff, that man over there in the back, Jean-Sébastien, is going to hide behind that screen, but put a lot of hours through that. We have Denis Boucher, we have Chloe Savoie, and we have Annie Boudreau. All 4 of them have been working very intensively. I had the first testing account about 2 years ago where they used my own personal account to kind of play with it, because we wanted it to be bilingual. That was very, very important to us. And as soon as you use bilingual in any software, there's a lot of programming behind it. So they did a lot of testing. Then about 6 months ago, we started to onboard a first batch of employees who were willing to be testers that live within the Bathurst city limit. We tested with them. If they spotted things they'd like to change, we changed it. And then we had another batch, and we've had weekly employees onboarding for the past 2 months, I think, consistently for the past 2 months. So staff has been testing it before we just throw it out there to try to get as much fine-tune as we could. So official launch go live is today, March 3rd. Clients will be able to onboard with this month's billing, and the information will go live tomorrow on the city's website. It will be publicized through Facebook, and it will also be notified through Voyant Alert for those that have an account, so that we are able to make as much wave as we can. And that's it. We're very proud of it.
Merci, Madame Gauvin. J'ai une question pour toi.
Oui.
Moi, c'est automatiquement enlevé dans mon compte à tous les mois. Mais je reçois quand même ma facture. Est-ce qu'il faut que je m'inscris, mais est-ce que vous allez quand même continuer à juste sortir l'argent de mon compte, ou est-ce qu'il faut que je change le système de paiement?
C'est la même chose. Il n'y a aucun changement de système de paiement. La différence est que vous ne recevrez plus la facture par papier. Puis il y a même un onglet que si vous avez un entente de paiement préautorisé, allez lister là avec le montant. Fait qu'annuellement, vous pouvez vérifier, faire sûr que si vous avez un frais fixe, que le montant est encore enligné pour amener la balance à zéro. Donc, ça ne change rien pour les paiements préautorisés. Ils ne sont pas obligés de faire le paiement en ligne. Ça va être continué de retirer, mais vous pourrez le voir directement en ligne.
Ah, on a des questions. Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Merci, Sonia. Belle initiative. Je suis vraiment content. Ça fait une couple d'années qu'on en entend parler, évidemment. Ça fait que... Merci, c'est beau, mais tu disais tout à l'heure qu'il y a d'autres services qu'on va pouvoir, dans l'avenir, payer à travers ce portail ici. Est-ce que tu peux en énumérer une couple, juste pour que nos citoyens puissent savoir ce qui s'en vient? Parce que c'est un maudit beau service, là, on ne se le cachera pas.
Les 2 plus gros exemples sont les services récréatifs. Tout de suite, on l'utilise déjà à l'interne. Mais exemple, toutes les réservations de patinoires, de camps d'été, toutes ces choses-là, pour le côté récréatif, les gens vont pouvoir aller s'inscrire à des activités en ligne. basé sur l'âge de leurs enfants, puis plein d'indicateurs. C'est pour ça que tout de suite, on utilise juste à l'interne. Mais ça va prendre un peu de temps parce qu'il y a encore toute la traduction à faire à tout ce côté-là. Il n'est pas encore prêt pour le public. Ensuite de ça, pour exemple, les services d'inspection, pour les permis de construction, des fois, c'est des petits permis de 1 000 des choses comme ça qui pourraient peut-être être faites tout en ligne. Ça aussi, il peut y avoir des demandes de permis de construction mis en ligne. Puis ensuite de ça, l'équipe s'en occupe. S'ils ont besoin d'avoir une rencontre ou quelconque, mais ça aussi, c'est des services qui pourront être offerts aussi en ligne. C'est vraiment, selon nos activités qu'on veut mettre, on a l'option de vraiment aller aussi large, aussi petit qu'on veut.
Superbe. Et tantôt, tu mentionnais pour les taxes foncières, mais ça, évidemment, ça va toujours rester provincial parce que c'est quand même un paiement qui se fait à la province et après ça, il y a un déboursement qui se fait aux municipalités, c'est ça?
On ne prend aucun paiement de taxe foncière. Quand je mentionne Service du Nouveau-Brunswick, c'est que Service du Nouveau-Brunswick nous donne l'option de payer la facture d'eau et d'égout des municipalités à travers leur site, puis ils nous envoient l'argent. Mais c'est aucunement les taxes foncières.
Oui, je voulais juste être sûr et
Ouais.
clarifier ce parti-là aussi, parce qu'évidemment, ça ne pourra pas se faire. Merci, Sonia.
Councillor Burnett?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Thanks, Sonia, for your presentation. Some of the concerns that kept coming to me was all this paper arriving at people's homes, even though they paid fully for the year and still got the paperwork every month, which they found to be quite a waste. Now, if they go with this, can they pay once a year and that's it? No paper, no trail. Every month they won't be getting an email saying what your bill is, et cetera, or does that come by the same way?
So when in January, February, when they want to pay for the full year, they'll have to come to City Hall because you can't pay more than what your balance is. So obviously, if you pay for the full year, you're paying more than what your balance is. But once that's done, you will get an email notification because every month we post charges to your account, so your monthly fee. But they've already paid that when they paid through January. So they'll just get an email notification every month to say, hey, we've posted your charge and this is the balance on your credit that you've already paid. And that's it. No paper, no nothing.
Okay, so security. You mentioned security. That's a concern sometimes for some people about using e-transfers. So it says security is what they use say. It's very secure system the way that you're going. How did you put that? But anyway, we've had some hacking in the past, and it gets into the news and just sort of gets people to sort of stop and maybe not go in that direction. So you guaranteeing security?
Well, I can never guarantee security, as any municipality can. Nobody in the world can guarantee security. But I can say that we are using global payments, which is the same thing as if you came with your Interact card at the front desk in the front. It's the same system with the same security, the same everything.
Okay. So if you sell your home and you want to cancel your water, is it easy to do, or because you're online now and they're automatically taking it out? Is there a timeline that you have to be aware of for canceling?
If you're selling your home, everything will be done through the lawyers.
Through the lawyers?
Yes. So if you're selling your home and they're transferring your old account to a new person that purchased your house, that account won't be linked to your system anymore. That will be done through the lawyer's information that we received. Same thing as you would change for property changeover.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councillor Legacy?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And thank you, Sonia. This is something I'm super excited about. I've been waiting for this for years. As someone who hates getting mail, I just want to deal with it digitally. Couple questions. Just to go back to one of the previous comments, you said you can't make the full year payment on this system, but you'd still be able to through the Service New Brunswick website, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So somebody that wants to not come to City Hall but I always advise to actually call because you want to make sure that credit gets applied for the full year. We go through all of the accounts because right now that's what the staff is going to be doing the next week is some people paid online but didn't necessarily tell us. So we want to make sure that we put that 5% to their account because they paid online. We want to make sure that we don't miss any. So if you want to make sure, you can always call, make your payment through the phone or through another means or coming directly, then you're sure. But if you use Service New Brunswick, we will still go through all of the account to make sure we don't miss any. But it's just when you do come to City Hall, you're sure that it's applied because you see it right there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And you mentioned access to the historical data. When does that start? Is that from when we switch to Town Suite? Is that when they go digital? Like how far back can they go from this point?
So in my account, when it was metered, I could go as far back as when I built my house, which was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So my account started then, I could see it then. That's how far it went, because we brought all the information. You won't be able to see invoices directly, but you'll be able to see all of the metered and all of in the table, that's all listed there.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Councillor Anderson?
Thank you, Your Worship. Sonia, going forward for additional services that would be added on, is there any possibility of adding, like when people right now, when somebody has to get fingerprinting done at the police department, you're back and forth, you have to go there, you have to come here and pay, then you have to go back there with your receipt to prove that you paid. Is there any way to incorporate that into this system?
Well, the system that it's there, unless it changed the last time I used it, because I had to make my credit, it was all done through that separate system that they have.
What do you mean?
Well, when you go click on the criminal check from the
Yeah.
police station, because
Yeah.
I did it online, I didn't have to go to the police station at all. It was all done
See,
electronically.
I had
through
to,
their
like in
system.
October, I had to go to the police station, then they sent me back here, then I had to go back,
Really?
and they said that's the way it's always been, and there's no way that it can be changed.
I paid online.
And I said, it can be changed. Everything can be changed.
Yeah, I paid online, but let's say that they did, we could also expand for whatever we need to invoice. We need to have the proper things at proper spaces, but we could create an invoice online and the person could pay it directly from that software. Yes, but to my knowledge, when I did it, and it was about 2 years ago, I paid online. I didn't go to the police.
Yeah, I did it in like October, November, and I had to do it back and forth, back and forth.
Okay.
And when I came here, the girls at the counter told me that people are confused because they didn't realize that they had to go to the police station first and then come here. So then people were coming here first, and then they were sending.
Right.
So people were back and forth 4 times.
Maybe it's
So I
the
said,
people
there's got to be a different way
I'd have
to do
to check what
this.
it is. I'm curious to know what it is, because if it can be simplified, we can actually integrate that for sure.
Yeah, that would be
But
great.
I'm not quite sure which one they have to go back and forth, but that is definitely something that we can.
Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. This is exciting. And for anybody out there, you can go online and pay once a month, or you could pay for the year, or you can have an automatic removal from your account. Like every month on the 21st, for me, it just comes out, and I know, it just doesn't change. It's a lot easier that way. So you go, oh, shoot, I forgot to pay my water bill for the last 3 months. So,
Especially for the fixed accounts, the ones that are on a monthly fee.
yeah.
It's always the same amount every month, so it's easy to program. That one we have a form, because I'm not allowed to go and take money from your account without your signature, so that one we have people sign forms and make sure that we get their banking information that we pull out every month. But if you do opt for that, then you will see that agreement directly on your account as well.
All right. Merci beaucoup.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. On n'a rien à finance. Arrêté municipal. Amendement proposé au plan municipal et à l'arrêté de zonage pour les propriétés situées à 12,10 à 12,96 Promenade Daniel et 13,30 Boulevard Vanier. Ah, j'ai fermé le micro. Je m'excuse, M. Bouffard. Vous êtes bon.
Merci, madame. Donc, ce soir, c'est la présentation publique requise en vertu de la loi sur l'urbanisme pour amorcer le processus de rezonage pour la propriété située au coin de la rue Daniel, promenade Daniel et du boulevard Vanier. So the rezoning, we did receive a rezoning request to rezone 6 parcels at the intersection of Daniel Drive and Vanier Boulevard to allow the development of a residential complex comprising several multi-unit row houses. So this is a significant project in this area. The 6 parcels, 4 of them abut directly on Daniel Drive. There's a larger parcel that have a frontage on Vanier Boulevard, and the largest one is landlocked. It is located at the back of the other 5 other parcels. Altogether, they cover 1.4 hectares of land, and it has a frontage of 60 meters on Vanier Boulevard and 95 meters on Daniel Drive. And those lots were approved in 65 as part of 2 subdivision plans. So this development is quite old in the city. Right now, The 4 parcels that have a direct frontage on Daniel Drive are occupied by 6 single-family dwelling. So it means that some lots, 2 lots, they have 2 houses on them. The 2 other parcels are vacant. And it's something that will be taken into consideration by the developer, but there's a power line running at the back of those houses with an easement. So this power line that also provide electricity to some houses further down or further up on the Daniel Drive and Ulrich Drive will have to be relocated. Donc, la propriété en question est située dans un secteur résidentiel délimité au sud par le boulevard Vanier et au nord par la rivière Tête-à-Gauche. On retrouve un cluster, un regroupement de 16 habitations jumelées du côté est et qui appartient au même développeur du projet en question. Et on dénombre 4 autres habitations unifamiliales plus à l'est, donnant sur les promenades Daniel et Ulrich. Au niveau de l'utilisation au sol des terrains à proximité pour évaluer l'impact ou la conformité du projet avec le zonage ou l'usage des terrains aux alentours. Donc, à l'ouest, on retrouve la route 11 et plusieurs commerces de type routier un petit peu plus à l'est, dont un motel, l'Atlanticos, des postes à essence, des restaurants et de grands bâtiments commerciaux et industriels. À l'est, du côté est, on retrouve de grands lotissements résidentiels utilisés majoritairement pour des fins résidentielles de faible densité, des maisons unies et bifamiliales. Au nord, on retrouve la rivière Tête-à-Gauche et au sud, la rampe d'accès à la route 11 et la rue Ryan. Au niveau du plan municipal, under the municipal plan, the subject property is designated residential, and in the municipal plan, it is mentioned in the report, but there are a wide range of development policies that do fit with the proposed project. For example, the municipal plan do encourage infilling and consolidation and the growth subdivision where we already have service. Municipal plan do encourage a mixture of housing types and price within the municipality and so on. So it is, we feel that the proposed project is consistent with the views and the development proposal in the municipal plan of the city of Bathurst. Under zoning, the land is zoned R2 for single and 2 unit dwelling, and also along the Tête-à-Gauche, there's a buffer zone along the Tête-à-Gauche River that is subject to rules of the province concerning watercourse and wetlands. So all those aspects are taken into consideration by the planning department in the assessment of this rezoning application. So the request we receive is to rezone those land from R2 to integrated development to permit the development of a residential complex comprising several row-type multiple unit dwellings. As a first step, the existing 6 houses or 6 dwellings that along Daniel Drive will be relocated and grouped together in a new 6-unit row house built parallel to the property, to the adjacent property. So those 6 dwellings are not demolished. They will be moved to a new location on the property, but grouped together in a row house. This project will allow the developer propose between 40 and 48 housing units in 5 or 6 one-story row houses. So at this time, the developer is not decided if he will build 5 or 6 new dwellings. But we could mention here that those row houses will be built perpendicular to Daniel Drive, but one unit will have a full frontage on Vanier Boulevard. So in terms of visual impact, again, this project is consistent with other projects owned by the same developer in the region, and we do not believe that this project will have any impact on the area. And since my first presentation at the Committee of the Whole, we did receive the plans for the project. So basically, this is we have elevation plan of the proposed building. So each building or dwellings contains 6 dwelling units. There is no garage, but they are typical to what the developer also have in the region. And we have the floor plan as well. En termes de circulation routière, la propriété est bornée par le boulevard Vanier, qui est une des principales artères de la ville. L'accès au complexe résidentiel se fera à partir de la promenade Daniel. Selon les configurations proposées qui restent à finaliser, 2 ou 3 allées d'accès seront proposées pour accéder aux habitations. Au niveau du stationnement, il y a amplement de stationnement pour desservir le complexe, donc ce n'est pas un enjeu. Au niveau environnemental, on regarde toujours l'aspect, est-ce que le terrain est susceptible d'être affecté par les inondations fluviales ou côtières. On utilise les informations de la province et à cause de la topographie du terrain, le terrain n'est vraiment pas affecté par les inondations prévues au cours des prochaines décennies à venir. Mais on est conscient qu'il y a un escarpement, c'est un terrain qui borde la rivière Tête-à-Gauche, donc il y a un escarpement quand même assez important qui peut être sujet à l'érosion. Donc, on a pris ça en considération, on a évalué la topographie du terrain, qu'est-ce que ça représente en termes de contraintes pour l'aménagement du terrain. Mais surtout, on a demandé aux développeurs de nous soumettre un rapport de géotechnique qui a été fait par une firme spécialisée afin d'établir une marge de sécurité à partir de la crête de la pente pour le nouvel aménagement proposé. Donc, dans son rapport, il y a eu des études géotechniques qui ont été faites, il y a eu des tests de sol qui ont été faits l'été passé. Donc, le consultant il est d'avis que le site convient au bâtiment proposé, mais le consultant, l'ingénieur qui a étudié la propriété, a quand même fait plusieurs recommandations dans son rapport qui feront partie intégrante des conditions rattachées au rozonnage. On veut que le développeur suive les recommandations faites par la firme d'ingénieurs, par les spécialistes en géotechnique. Donc, au niveau du plan municipal, il est recommandé de changer le zonage de résidentiel à développement intégré. De même, on recommande de changer le zonage de R2 à développement intégré, qui offre une certaine latitude pour l'aménagement du terrain. Il va y avoir des conditions rattachées au rezonage. Donc, ce soir, on initie le processus. On a fait une ébauche des premières conditions. Les conditions qu'on a à date, pour l'instant, on dit que tous les points d'accès entre la propriété et les rues attenantes devront être approuvés par le service des travaux publics qui peut demander des rapports d'experts ou des études supplémentaires qu'il désire. S'il y a des développements en bordure de la rivière, il faut que le promoteur, le propriétaire, contacte le ministère de l'Environnement. Comme je disais tantôt, on a pris les principales conclusions dans le rapport d'ingénieur et on les a ici dans les conditions rattachées. La principale, je pourrais dire, c'est que tous les aménagements devront être décalés de 3,5 mètres par rapport au rebord de la pente. Donc, toutes les constructions, tous les bâtiments ne pourront pas être construits à moins de 3,5 mètres de la ligne de crête, telle que recommandée par l'ingénieur. Donc, c'est au niveau du processus. Ce soir, c'est la présentation publique requise par la loi sur l'urbanisme. À partir de ce soir, les gens qui veulent faire parvenir leur opinion écrite, support ou objection, auront jusqu'au 3 avril pour le faire, pour faire parvenir leur objection écrite à la greffière. On April the 7th, Council will take note of the written objections. At that time, Council will decide if they continue the rezoning process, and at that time, Council will pass a resolution under what we call Section 111 of the Community Planning Act. There will be, after that, there will be another deadline to receive objection, that is May the 1st. There will be a public hearing on May the 5th to hear people who did send their written objections to the clerk. And on the same evening, Council may do first reading of the proposed amendments. On May the 20th, Council will pass or will be asked to pass the second readings. And if we go following the schedule, the bylaw, the proposed amendment will be adopted by Council on June the 2nd. So this is the overall process.
So the developer is probably going to want to start the work this summer. So
Yes.
if this goes through by June 2nd, he'll probably want to start. Is he looking at getting that done this summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Council will adopt the bylaw, but legally the bylaw come into force after it has been approved by the minister. Okay, so after June, first thing first, we'll send the bylaw to the minister. He has to approve to sign the bylaw, and after that, we have to file them at the registry office. And when they are registered, then the bylaw come into force. So again, there may be a few weeks by the time we have to send it to the minister, have it back, send it to the registry office. So we may add a couple of weeks in the process to have the bylaw legally in force.
Okay. Councillor Burnett?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Thanks for your presentation, Mr. Bouffard. I have a couple of questions and maybe concerns. Number one, I'm really happy to see this happening there. Just up the street, we have a lot of businesses and some more coming, and they'll be needing employees, and they'll be needing a place to stay. So this is a very good location for the new businesses up the road. My question is land stability. I see where you have a lot of conditions there about no fill, nothing on the bank. This has all been checked out by somebody that's qualified in that area to make sure that land is suitable to have 5 or 6 new units put in?
Yeah, it has been, the consulting firm behind this study is a well-known firm for this type of geotechnical assessment.
Because that has caused us grief in the past, and I hope that that's a real good firm and that they're long-term so that this is guaranteed to the city. The concern I have is the lining up of the streets. When you come off of Route 11, there's an exit onto Vanier. There's an entrance to go into the big highway, and then there's Ryan Avenue coming out, and then there's the entrance into Ulrican in this area. Is there any way to line that up a little bit better so that when you come out of this new area, that we could have maybe Ryan lining up with this? Because like going out, I go to breakfast off on Atlantic Coast, and when you get to that end of Ryan Avenue and you got to try to get out there, it's a bit of a challenge. And with 40 new possibilities on the other side, maybe there could be some clearing up of that intersection so that you can get out and in a little bit better. So you have a good map of it right there, and you can see where it's in the middle of the entrance to the highway and exit, and then to Ryan Avenue. Has that been thought about at all?
Again, this is an existing street. Daniel Drive already exists, and we already have houses there. So access to this area remain the same. You have Ryan on one side, or the ramp to the highway on the other side. Again, this is an issue we may discuss with the engineering department, public works, But for us, it's other than increasing the density, we use existing street layout. So
Yeah, I'm all for the project. I just want it to be as safe as possible for traffic entering and coming out, and for the rest of the users coming off the highway, etc. So, if that could be looked at, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
All right. On n'a pas d'autres questions. Merci beaucoup. On s'en va à la prochaine étape. Draft resolution, weight restriction, spring 2025. Ms. Parker.
Whereas the Motor Vehicle Act empowers a municipality to impose weight restrictions on highways under their jurisdiction, and whereas the administration has reviewed a plan and makes recommendations for the designation of the 2025 weight restrictions, now therefore be it resolved that Council designates the following weight restrictions effective March 17, 2025 until further notice. 1. On all streets in the City of Bathurst except those exempted in Item 2, vehicles may operate with each axle weight not exceeding 80% of the maximum axle weight for which the particular vehicle may be operated in the province of New Brunswick, provided that each axle weight does not exceed that upon which the registered weight is based. 2. The following streets are exempt from these restrictions and are subject to the conditions below. A. No spring weight restrictions. All streets located within the Bathurst Industrial Park, Route 134, Miramichi Avenue from the junction of Route 11 to Bridge Street, Route 134, Bridge Street from Miramichi Avenue to Murray Avenue, Route 134, Murray Avenue from Bridge Street to Main Street, Route 134, Main Street to St. Peter Avenue via Harborview Boulevard North, Route 134, St. Peter Avenue to Main King via Harborview South to Murray Avenue, St. Peter Avenue to City Limits Beresford, Route 180, Vanier Boulevard from St. Peter Avenue to Route 11, Route 430, King Avenue, from the junction of Route 11 to Dumaris Street and Dumaris Street from King Avenue to Murray Avenue, St. Anne Street, Route 11 to Evangeline Street, Route 315, Sunset Drive from Vanier Boulevard to Browns Bridge, Route 315, Sunset from Civic Address 2000 to City Limits, Karen Drive from Bridge Street to Sutherland Avenue. In summary, the truck route through the city is now 100% of axle weight without any tolerances over such weight. B. Restricted to 90% of maximum licensed axle weight. Cape Road, Bridge Street from the city limits to Miramichi Avenue. 3. Passenger buses and City of Bathurst vehicles be exempt from the above restrictions.
All right, I'll need someone to move. Deputy Mayor Willett, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Mr. Pettigrew, did you want to add to this? Sure. Hold on.
Thank you, Worship. Just wanted to add, this is a standard we do every year. The staff will have the signs prepared and be ready for the March 17th, or the week that it starts. If you notice, there is no end date because it's determined based on weather, so that'll be until further notice until it's removed. But at that point, we will remove them. Staff will remove it, and definitely all those in the commercial vehicle industry are aware of definitely the weight restrictions and know what they are. So, but it's pretty standard, normal, same conditions as we had in previous years, but roughly dates change based on weather conditions we have. So,
all right. Do we have any questions? All right, we'll go to the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Application to host the Congrès Mondial Acadien in 2029. Ms. Parker.
Whereas an interprovincial candidacy committee made up of elected representatives of Restigouche RSC, Chaleur RSC, Bonaventure MRC, and Avignon MRC presented a letter of intent in July 2024 to the Société Nationale de l'Acadie, indicating a common will be to submit an application that the Baie de Chaleur to be the host of the Congrès Mondial CMA in 2029, and whereas the nominating committee, in collaboration with professionals from the region and community partners, is currently working to develop a nomination package to be submitted to the Société Nationale de l'Acadie on March 14, 2025, and whereas the CMA is a unifying event of international importance that contributes to the vitality, unity, and modernity of the Acadian people and generates major economic and tourism spin-offs for the host region, and whereas the event has never taken place on our territory, and whereas the support of partners in this domain and from the municipalities is necessary to complete the nomination package, and that it establishes an important part of the evaluation, and whereas an important proportion of the population of our community is of Acadian origin. Therefore, be it resolved that the municipality of Bathurst supports the interprovincial nomination of the Baie des Chaleurs as host of the Congrès Mondial Acadien in 2029.
All right, I'll need someone to move. Councillor Honda, seconded by Councillor Knowles. Questions? All those in favor? Councillor Burnett?
Is there any financial concerns that we should be aware of before we okay this? Do we have to provide some monies up front for the registering of this?
At this time, not that I'm aware of, no.
No, it's a great
No.
idea. I hope it works. And I
It's
hope,
going to be a
yeah.
wonderful partnership.
yeah, hopefully they have the champion to carry it through. Good for them.
Yeah, Deputy Mayor Willett has been involved with it as well, and we have a committee that they're meeting. I'm getting updates from Imagine Chala, the Regional Service Commission. They're keeping me updated as well with Mylène Doucette. So the application is going well. It's a solid, good application. We're
good.
really crossing our fingers.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor Willett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Oui, c'est ça, l'application est là, puis ça va être vraiment fort, puis on est en train de se battre contre Bouctouche. Mais l'année passée, j'ai eu l'opportunité d'aller à Yarmouth puis à Argyle pour participer à ça, puis ça ferait vraiment, quand ce que tu parles de l'argent qui rentre de nouveau dans le système, tu as presque une centaine de mille personnes qui viennent dans la région pour plus qu'une semaine. Là.
Ouais. Les retombées économiques est incroyable.
Oui.
Pour la région
Vraiment.
Chaleur, ça va être quelque chose de spécial.
Ça donne une chance aux familles à revenir au niveau, participer dans leur région, ceux-là qui ça fait longtemps qu'ils sont partis aussi. Ça.
Okay. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Ms. Parker, do we have any administration reports?
There are no reports from administration or committees.
All right. J'ai pas grand-chose comme j'ai juste quelques petits points que j'aimerais annoncer. Right now, the Red Cross is doing a blood drive, so a blood donation. They started this evening. So they have tomorrow and Wednesday. So from 1 to 3:30 and from 5 to 8:30. I did get a call from the director for the Canadian Blood Bank. They are in dire state for blood. Anybody that has the opportunity to be able to go give blood, it's at the Case Irving, and it's for another 2 days from 1 to 3:30 and 5 to 8:30. Donc, la Croix-Rouge est ici pendant 2 jours à Bathurst, au Case Irving, de 1h à 3h30 et de 5h à 8h30. Ils m'ont contacté et puis ils ont vraiment besoin. C'est la région la plus faible. Donc, ils ont à peu près 2000 places de disponibles. They have 2,000 seats available for people to be able to go give blood. Donc, s'il y a des gens qui sont intéressés, s'il vous plaît, prenez le temps, même si vous ne l'avez jamais fait, vous pouvez aller sur place directement, puis vous remplissez les papiers, les infirmières sont là pour vérifier. Happy March break to all the children out there. Bonne fête du mois de mars. Apollo Cinema is actually open and they're having early morning matinees. Tomorrow morning at 10:10, tomorrow morning they will be playing Troll. So for families, if you've taken vacation time, Apollo Cinema is a great opportunity, of course, including our pool. Quickly, just officially, as of March 1st, I think we've put in the announcement, but the new zoning for the City Bathurst will be policed by the City of Bathurst. Donc, à partir du 5 mars, le nouvel quartier de la ville de Bathurst, qui fait partie de Bathurst maintenant, va être patrouillé par la force policière de Bathurst. Donc, nous, on est très satisfaits. Je suis certain que vous allez être satisfaits aussi. C'est tout. Ça fait, si vous avez la chance, allez donner du sang. We'll go to the adjournment of the meeting. Oh, Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I've been a bit slack in getting a report together. Would you like me to update council on an AGM I just went to last week? Not a big report.
Sure, if you want to, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. We had the annual meeting of the Pickleball Association, and they're up to now 261 paid members in this, and they are really thankful for what the city has done over the past year or so. Our city manager made sure that the lights were up to date and got the LEDs put in. The benches that were in the way were all taken out, and now it's much more safe to play pickleball in the gym. And the schedules have improved. The last president was very, very good at putting times together and got 3 more groups in, so that's why the membership has increased. And the only issue is now they're looking for members that would like to volunteer for the management group because a lot of them have served their time and would like to move on. So they're looking for president and vice president. So anybody out there that would like to take part in that, we're looking for people. And the activity, like I said, is well appreciated. Also in the gym at the same time, with this, before we go there, Dusty Sneakers are there, and they've got over 80 members now in the morning taking part in that gym. So Bath is very fortunate to have that gym in back of City Hall.
Yes, we're
So
very
that's my quick report. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll go to the adjournment of the meeting. Ms. Parker.
That the regular public meeting be adjourned at 7:21 p.m.
All right, I'll need someone to move. Councillor Hondas, seconded by Councillor Scary. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Bonne soirée. Merci d'être avec nous ce soir.